Hare Rama Alright, so let us into today's subject, just practice of sadhana at home, no? Daily basis, is it? Okay. I'm gonna read you one quote from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur about Vaishnava and the society, how one should behave in society. That's also important, no? It's part of the subject, isn't it? Now, first thing, the question, this is from Jaiva Dharma by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What is the difference between a karmist worship of Krishna and a devotee worship of Krishna? You sometimes may see pious people in India worship Krishna, but they are not devotees. They may go to temple worship the Lord. So the answer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur is, the sadhana bhakti practiced by the Vaishnavas is meant to awaken their prema bhakti, their love, no? However, when non-devotees practice sadhana bhakti, their goal is either material enjoyment or liberation. There may be no difference in the practice of sadhana bhakti of the two, but there are certainly differences in their intentions. By worshipping Krishna, the karmis may eventually achieve the result of purification of heart from the desire of liberation as well as freedom from desire for material enjoyment. By worshipping Krishna, the devotees become attached to the holy names of Krishna. By observing the vow of Ekadashi, the karmis counteract their sinful reactions, whereas by observing the vow of Ekadashi, the devotees increase their devotion to Lord Hari. Just see how much difference is there between the two. I mean, non-devotee also in India, they follow Ekadashi. Many people follow Ekadashi. But their intention is to get free from bad karma, sinful reaction. That's their main intention, no? While the devotee's intention is to become more attached to the loving service of Govinda, of Lord Hari. It's a big difference. The practice is the same, but the intention is the difference. So in everything we do, we should always remember that intention is more important than the service itself. Prabhupada mentioned that in the Nectar of Devotion. Sometimes the devotee get a little technical about how to do this, how to do that. And that's all right to know, certain things, but more important even is to know what the mental attitude we should have in our daily practice. That's more important than anything else. So, I'm going to read another quote from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Also from Jaiva Dharma. It said, the word indifference doesn't mean that one should abandon his social relations, that which are normal in between human beings, and doesn't even mean either that we should not try to relieve the suffering of a person who is not favorable, who fall in disgrace, or who is in a great need. The Vaishnavas Grihastas remain in society and they have many relationships, for example, with family members due to their marriage, from the side of the wife also, with other people for business, jobs, to maintain their property and to relieve the suffering of others too, and their position as citizens of the state. Different social relationship means that you have maybe some time to connect with people who are not favorable. And to avoid them doesn't mean that you should abandon them immediately. Doesn't mean that. One person is obliged to follow his different engagement and to relate to people who are indifferent to Krishna. But we should not associate with them for spiritual things, If generally they are not interested anyway. It may be sometime members of the same family, they have unfavorable nature. They are not favorable to Krishna consciousness. As a result of past sinful activities, a previous life. One should abandon those persons? No, absolutely not. One has to maintain relationship with them without attachment in relation to ordinary dealings, But one should avoid their association when it has to do with spiritual subject matter. You relate to them about whatever need to be done, materially speaking. When it comes to spiritual subject, they will not understand what you're doing. Isn't? Sometimes they criticize why this is chanting so much. No need for this. But for Navaratri, they may call Brahmanas from Benares and do all the pujas and do all the thing. But for chanting, no, it's not. Understand? People generally are materially inclined. So they use religious rituals and things just to have a better material life. To get blessing, I will be more comfortable and get good money and material happiness. And a heavenly planet after this life, or better birth after this life. That's it. But this means they are not Vaishnava, they are not devotees. Although sometimes they may chant some mantras like that, but their intention is to get something material either in personal liberation or some material desire to fulfill, Like, I remember once I was doing Govardhan Parikrama. I saw a family doing Dandavat Parikrama. I said, wow. But I found out their intention was that one of the young doing this to pass the exam. Doing all this austerity just to pass the exam. Better study and pass the exam. Understand what I mean? This thing are mixed up, mixed up. Once I saw also in one temple, I don't remember which temple it was, Banki Bihari maybe. One man very devotedly praying to Banki Bihari. After walking out of the temple, I asked him, "Oh, you're praying nicely, He said, "Yes, I lost my job. I was praying for a better job." Means they're pious people, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, no? Chaturvidha bhajanti mam. There are 4 types of people who approach me. Either they are in need, or either they are distressed, or just curious, or they are seeking for the truth. He said from the 4, the one who's seeking the truth is more advanced. His intention is more or less spiritual. So there are different types of people in this world. We have to know how to deal with them accordingly. No? So because sometime may happen that unfavorable person that have different opinions, irrelevant opinions, when they hear glorification of Shuddha Bhakti or the teachings, pure teaching in relation to Bhakti, immediately they give some unsubstantial argument which is not beneficial to anyone. They give some mundane argument. So we should avoid this and useless discussion. And the relation with this person, we should limit only to social relations, which is daily thing you have to do with, co-workers, family members, etc. One may think that it's better to include the unfavorable person amongst the ignorant, and one should give them mercy. But instead of helping them, the only thing that you will achieve would do your harm yourself. One should be benevolent, but with precaution. Yeah, I've seen sometimes that you enter with argument with people, like this. They end up hurting themselves. Getting angry, and arguing, what is the use? Better avoid discussing subject matter, spiritual subject matter with people who are not inclined, like this. But if you are challenged, you have to accept challenge. You can't avoid. Like, some years ago, I was in Detroit in home program, and one mathaji asked the question that at her job, sometimes they want Christian to preach to her, convert her to Christianity, This is the only best religion. So she asked me, what should I tell them? And I told her, you ask them this question. Is God limited or unlimited? Of course they will say unlimited. When they say unlimited, you should ask them, then why you want to limit God only to your religion? Use common sense, Prabhupada used that in challenging situation, When they said, no, Jesus was the only Son of God. Only through Him you can go to God. Prabhupada asked the same question. God is limited or unlimited? Oh, He's unlimited. Then why you want to limit Him to have only one Son? If you can have more than one son, how God can have only one? Why he can't have many? Bhagavad Gita, Ham Bija Pradapita, Krishna says, I am the father of all living entities. Then how to adjust? Well, Jesus was a obedient son. We are the disobedient son. That way you can adjust. Tell them, yes, true. He's the only obedient son. We are all disobedient sons. Like that. We should follow his example. You know. Of course, Prabhupada also challenged the Christian. Bible say you should not kill. Why you're killing the animals? You know, sometimes he challenge also. Like that. Preaching is not easy. Huh? Preaching is a difficult thing to do. You have to confront so many elements, you know, unfavorable elements. Sometimes preachers, they are hurt by the people who trying to help them, you know. Like Haridas Thakur was beaten in 21 markets because he was glorifying the holy name. Anyway, so as much as possible we should avoid confrontation about spiritual subject with people who are not favorable. I mean, one should be merciful to the ignorant, but with precaution. You know, you see, they are becoming a little offensive. Better stop. You know. Imagine Prabhupada came to this part of the world. I'm going to read you one quote from one scholar, one professor of religion, you know. He said, it's an astonishing story. If someone told you a story like this, you wouldn't believe it. Here is this person, he's 70 years old. He's going to a country where he never been before. He doesn't know anybody there. He has no money, no contacts. He has none of the things you would say that makes for success. He's going to recruit people not on any systematic basis, but just picking up whoever comes across. And he's going to give them responsibility for organizing a worldwide movement. You'd say, what kind of program is that? There are precedents, perhaps. Jesus of Nazareth went around saying, come follow me, drop your nets, or leave your tax collecting and come with me and be my disciple. But in his case, he wasn't an old man in a strange society dealing with people whose background were totally different from his own. He was dealing with his own community. Bhaktivinoda Swami's achievement then must be seen as unique. In a foreign land with different culture, different people, old man, I mean, imagine how is that, how difficult it was. And he wasn't like looking for people, you know, qualified to do the job. Anybody who will come, who's willing to help, he will accept. And with that, he managed a worldwide movement, society in few years. That's Krishna's miracle. Through Prabhupada, isn't it? That's amazing. Once Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, and one devotee came from London and brought Prabhupada some nice rasgullas from London. Prabhupada laughed. He said, previously, at the time of the British Raj, Haribol, Hare Krishna, anything that was coming from London was best quality. They were selling that idea, the British to the Indians. They will get the cotton from India, send it to England, make the clothes there and sell it more expensive back to India. So that's why Gandhiji, he made the revolution. You make your own khadi, you know, like that. Prabhupada was using that. But then Prabhupada said, I'm getting, you know, I conquered the Britain, you know. They make devotee, they are now making rasgulla, and bring to India for me. So this is conquest, cultural conquest. When Prabhupada went to the West, some of his godbrothers said, you have to adopt the way people eat with fork and knife and dress, with pants. And Prabhupada said, I'm not coming to imitate the Western. I'm coming to teach them how to eat with chapati with the hand. Prabhupada never changed his dress or his eating habit to, Very bold, actually. Very bold. And that's why he was successful, because he presented Krishna consciousness in a pure way. Prabhupada said, if you sell something pure, people appreciate buy. Is it? So anyway, I don't want to change the subject. Now let us have some question answers. Yes?
So when you said that intent, like devotees and non-devotees are separated by intention.
Yes.
So like in India we have so many so-called devotees, and so how do we how will we ever know that like should we, because externally it's the same.
Yeah.
And in devotee circle it might not necessarily be the same. So how do we make sure, or like have indication that that the intentions are to serve Krishna and be Krishna conscious kind of?
Yes. I mean, we have to follow Shastra, Guru and Sadhu. That's the main thing. If we are under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, then we are in the right path. And what is the teaching of Shastra? Devotional service should be to please Krishna. Should not be to become, famous and rich and go heavenly planet, and it's not meant for that. Devotional service is to get purified and to develop our Krishna prem, isn't love for Krishna. So if that intention is there, that is the most important thing.
And also, like in the society itself, even though the base intention is there is like gradation in devotees where the intention is still to serve.
Yeah.
But the reasoning and the philosophy which we give sometimes, which our mind gives us, that we are doing this to serve Krishna, but not necessarily it's to serve Krishna. The mind is using philosophy to benefit our own self. Like, how do we protect us?
We should benefit our own self. Prabhupada, one devotee once asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I can't stop thinking of my own benefit. What should I do? Prabhupada said, then you should think about your real self-benefit. Your real self-benefit will be becoming a pure devotee. That's your real self-benefit. So if we really want our self-benefit, then we should do the right thing, We should know that our real self is the spirit soul, is eternal servant of Krishna. Then we can really desire our real benefit. Because after all, everybody has to die one day. And we can't take with us any material things we have in this world. The only thing we carry with us is the result of our own actions. So whatever we did in devotional service will be taken to the next life.
And another question, so when we say when non-devotees also do the same devotional service, like the intention is different, the act is the same.
Yeah.
So if the intention is not proper, is it neutral to not do anything? Is it still fine that they do anything?
No.
It's better.
Bhaktivinoda Thakura is saying, even non-devotees, they may get purified in the long run by doing those devotional activities. They may do it with the intention of, getting some material benefit or getting liberation. But if they continue doing, the heart will become clean. Will take more time. But it will happen. This life or next life, it will happen. For example, like following the vow of Ekadashi, Sometime you read the story of Ekadashi. There is the Ekadashi book. We should be careful about reading this book because sometimes offer that blessing that you will burn away so many sinful reactions, and you will get fame and you will become king or go heavenly planet or some material benefit. It is sometimes explained in the story, isn't it? We should not be allured by those things. We should always remember Ekadasi should be done only to please Krishna, to get more attached to Krishna.
So for such people, should they be even not corrected, I would say, but then exposed to the fact that this should be done for pure devotional service rather than changing their intention, or we should just leave it to that?
No. I mean, when we come together, we should glorify Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service. If they are listening, they will get them the message. Is it? If they are sincere, they will, try to change their mentality. I give you an example. When I joined the movement back in South America, Venezuela, some new people start chanting. I remember one man. He had a big business, and he started chanting japa, everything. One day he told me, "Oh, this chanting is very good. Since I'm chanting, my business going up." Another young man told me, "Oh, since I'm chanting, the girls pay me more attention." I told them, Krishna may encourage you by fulfilling your material desire, but that's not the real purpose of chanting. Real purpose of chanting, you get purified from all those things. You depend more on Krishna for try to, clean the mirror of the heart with the chanting. So it's a gradual process, People come to Krishna consciousness with different motives. But gradually they will get purified, they will change their way of thinking. It's a gradual process. So you can do devotional service mixed with karma and with jnana. For example, you do devotional service mixed with karma, you're attached to enjoy the result of devotional service. So you're attached to get some kind of material benefit. And jnana, when mixed with jnana, you like to mental speculation. You can do philosophical speculation. That's allowed. What is the difference between mental speculation and philosophical speculation? For example, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, I am the test and water. Mental speculation will be, could it be that Krishna is the test or water or not? And philosophical speculation will be, oh, Krishna is the test of water. Really? Let me try to understand that. So there's a subtle difference between mental speculation and philosophical. So all has to do with the understanding. Once one understands clearly what is Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service, then one is alert. He always trying to see what is his mind intention, in doing devotional service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a married man. He had 11 children. He was a magistrate. He said, one day I saw my home like Goloka. You know? Why? Because he was doing pure devotional service. His main intention was to please Krishna. He has very strict sadhana. We can't imitate Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He will sleep 2 hours, from 8 to 10. Then wake up and write. He was writing all night until 4 in the morning. Then chanting japa, then do everything else. But I mean, Prabhupada used to sleep also 2 hours at night, 10 to 12, and then 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon. That's 4 hours together. Not much. Last night I went to sleep at 10, I woke up at 3 to chant. It's nice to chant very early. It's very nice connection there with Krishna, alone, chanting. Of course, Prabhupada say we need 6-7 hours of rest, to function properly. No more than 8. More than 8 is tamaguna. So, sadhana is very important. Go early to bed, early to rise, make the man healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's the English saying. When Prabhupada said, I could not do like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. My family members were not favorable. I had to give them up because they were not cooperating. Prabhupada will invite people to his home for Bhagavatam and they will lock themselves in a room, wife and children listening to the radio and drinking chai tea. Until one day, Prabhupada's wife sold the Bhagavatam to get the tea and biscuit. Prabhupada became angry and said, you have to choose between the tea or me. Oh, she thought he was joking. Okay, I will keep the tea. I don't need it. He took it seriously. He tricked his family. He left home. Took Vanaprastha. Of course, he was 59 years old. The children were grown up, He left them the business to carry on. Prabhupada said, I left 5 children. Krishna sent me hundreds of children who are taking care of me. So, if the family are favorable to Krishna consciousness, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. If the man does not have no debts and doesn't have to go too far to work, and the family are inclined to Krishna consciousness, then you are blessed. Yes?
I was talking about Ekadasi.
Yeah.
So, why is it so glorious to fast or follow some regulations more than usual on Ekadasi? What is so special about Ekadasi? Because I've seen that some people have this understanding that you should not torture yourself. I mean, nowhere it is mentioned that you should fast and then kind of feel so weak to worship God.
Well, I mean, complete fast is voluntarily, of course, but mandatory is fast from grains and beans. That's mandatory. So if you are too weak, you can eat something which is not grain. No problem. Nobody is forcing you to complete fast. I mean to say, and why is it important to follow Ekadashi? You know the story of Ekadashi, how it appeared? And why is it important not to eat grain on Ekadashi? You know the story of Papa Purusha? Yeah. When Lord Vishnu was visiting Yamaraj, he heard the cry of people. So he asked Yamaraj, who are they? Say, oh, there's people suffering in hellish planets. So Vishnu felt compassion. On Garuda, he went to see them. So they saw the Lord, and they prayed for deliverance from hell, So the Lord said, if you fast on Ekadasi, you will get out of hell. So they were fasting and getting free from it. So Papa Purusha approached the Lord. Papa Purusha is a personality that every part of his body represents different sinful activities. All the sinful activities you can imagine are present in his body. And he told Lord Vishnu, I'm also part of your creation. If people get liberated by following Ekadasi, where can I take a shelter on Ekadasi? Lord Vishnu said, you can take shelter on the grains for that day. So that means if you eat grain on Ekadasi, you're eating all the sinful activities. So you should avoid by all means eating grains on Ekadasi. By all means. Now, when Ekadasi appeared from the body of Lord Krishna, you know the story that the Lord was fighting one demon and he went to take rest in a cave. And the demon followed the Lord, and the Lord was resting, and the demon came to attack the Lord while having rest. So Ekadasi appeared from the body of the Lord, and she was with sword and, shield, and she fought the demon. So the Lord woke up and saw her fighting, and she killed the demon. So the Lord blessed her and told her, anybody who respect your day, he will get my blessings. Many things like that. So Ekadasi is the energy of the Lord itself. It's the day of Lord Hari. So it's a holiday for us. Sometimes devotees say, oh, Ekadashi, no. People become more disturbed and, things go wrong. They think that Ekadashi is inauspicious. Maybe materially, spiritually is very auspicious. For a spiritual advancement. So some devotees, they eat non-grain, on Ekadasi. Some they eat non-grain after fasting half day. Some of them fast all day. Some of them only drink water. Some of them eat no water at all. So that's according to one's capability, If you have to work and, you have to have some energy, that's true. We don't ask people to have to fast completely, but at least grain beans you should not take on that day. That's for sure.
Maharaj, I have a question.
Yes.
When you say ISKCON, people earlier I used to say it's Hinduism, but can we say that ISKCON itself is not specific to only Hindus?
You may say it is Hindu Vaishnavism. It's a branch of Hinduism called Vaishnavism, isn't it? I mean to say, we know the word Hindu is a new word. The Mughals used to call this people living on the side of the Sindhu River. He come Hindus. On this way became Hindustan, But you don't find in the Vedas the word Hindu. It's Bharatvarsha. Yeah. Bharati, Understand? So, but since it became common use, the word Hindu, you may say we are Vaishnava, Hindu Vaishnava. Because I saw one video in Kumbh Mela. They asked one sadhu, what is Hinduism? He said, three things. Either you worship Lord Shiva, or you worship Shakti, Durga, or you worship, Krishna, Vishnu, That's Hinduism. You follow one of these three. Yes.
So, Maharaj, I have this question that I'm sure, all the people sitting here, including yourself, we all found spirituality at different age in our life or different stage in our life.
Yeah.
Somebody found it 5 years of age, somebody at 18, somebody at 30, somebody at 40. So, what is the reason for that? Is it your destiny or is it your past karma that you have to go through before you become spiritual? And why it happens that way?
Well, you may say is the mercy of the Vaishnavas, because nobody becomes devotee because of good karma or something. Does have nothing to do with karma, good or bad. Has to do with the mercy of a Vaishnava, Has to do that if you did some devotional activity in past life, you may become attracted to it again. It could be, or you can even be starting it in this life from zero. So either way, Prahlad Maharaj said, Kaumaracharya Pragyo, one should start from childhood. So we are already late beginners. But the process of bhakti yoga is so powerful that even a late beginner can change his mentality. So it takes effort, takes sincerity, but if we get the help of devotees and Krishna, is it possible? So it's natural one should lament why I wasted so many years in my life, That's natural mentality of devotee. Like Narottam Das Thakur used to pray, Hari Hari Bifale Janama Gonai, Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Navajiya. I wasted my human life by drinking willingly poison in the form of sense gratification. I did not worship Radha and Krishna. I wasted my life. So that's good lamentation. Why I came so late to Krishna consciousness? I will have liked it to have come earlier. So for some reason or other, one should be happy. At least I came to Krishna consciousness. I didn't waste my life completely. But one should take it seriously, because Prabhupada said if we take seriously this Krishna consciousness movement, then we can one day speak to Krishna, dance with Krishna, eat with Krishna. Is it possible? Prabhupada told us in Venezuela, enthusiasm means I must see Krishna in this very life. That means enthusiasm. He said, you are seeing Krishna and his deity non-different. But even personally, it is possible. So we have to be enthusiastic. It's a great good news. We are eternal servant of Krishna, full of bliss, full of knowledge. What better news than that? Now we have to live to it. It's not good enough just to know theoretically. We are not the body, we are the soul. We have to experience it. And the way to experience it is through devotional service, because that's the natural, eternal activity of the soul. If we do devotional service with the proper mood, then we will realize our real self. That will come automatically. Our process of self-realization is chanting, dancing, and feasting. Very nice. very nice way of self-realization.
Maharaj, sometimes devotees find it very difficult to balance their spiritual life and family life and professional life.
Yes.
So if you try to focus on one, the other thing might just get neglected. So how do you prioritize these things, and some practical tips? How?
Well, balance means you have to take care of all. You can't neglect one. And I mean to say, Bhaktivinoda Thakur give the example of a train, The train needs both rails to run. Can't run in one rail. So we have material body, we have material needs. You can't neglect. But you have the spiritual need. You can also neglect that. So you have to try to follow both at the same time. And to do that, you have to ask Krishna to give intelligence. How to manage that. Because sometimes job is very demanding, time demanding, and you get tired, you don't have time for, having good conversation with the family and, for chanting around or reading. So it's difficult because the modern life is very demanding, very difficult. So one has to be very disciplined, very disciplined with his time. Don't waste time. Once one Indian man spoke with Prabhupada. He was new to the movement. Prabhupada asked him, how many rounds you're chanting? He said, I'm chanting 8 rounds. Prabhupada said, why you are not chanting 16? Well, because I have a family, I have a job, no time. Prabhupada said, how many hours you work? Oh, 8 hours. How many hours you sleep? 8 hours. You still have 8 more hours. How much time you need to take breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Let's say 2 hours. Okay, you still have 6 hours. How much time you need to speak with the family, and then maybe 2 more hours? Okay, you still have 4 hours. You can chant 2 hours, take rest for half an hour, and read. And the man followed that, and he got initiated later by Prabhupada. It's a question of the determination to follow, the discipline of the time. Measurement your time. From this time to time, I'm gonna do this. Write everything what your schedule for the day. Try to follow it. Because sometimes we waste so much time in anything, Some distraction on the TV or some game or some magazine. So we get distracted easily. But if we are serious about managing our time and our duties, then we should, give everything its own time. What do you think? Is possible or not? It's possible.
He does it already.
Yeah, I know.
He's, I think,
He's asking for the others, for the benefit of others.
He's very disciplined.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yeah, please do.
Well, certain foods are prohibited permanently for devotees of Vaishnava.
Yeah.
And why in Chaturmasya Diksha certain foods are prohibited only temporarily for some time? Do they have any impact on the meditating powers or anything else?
Well, Chaturmasya, because it is the rainy season in India, So sadhus used to stop in one place, don't travel because of the rain. So that's why they do some extra some extra tapasya, you know. And the Shastra said 1 month you don't eat spinach, 1 month you don't eat milk or yogurt or urad dal the last month. It's not big. Urad dal nobody eats, so no problem. But I mean to say, the whole idea is to diminish the material need and to increase the spiritual activity. That's the main reason. The main reason. It's not to get power or something like that.
The quality of the food that we eat has an impact on our mental system.
Definitely, yes. In the Bhagavad Gita it is explained, one should eat food offered in yagya. Yagya. So the food shall be offered to the Lord. Before anybody tests the food, then that food become Krishna Prasad, Bhagavad Prasad. Then that's the proper food to eat. No other food shall be taken. Then we are in a safe position. Because even vegetarian, if you are not offering your food, you're eating only sin. And the mind gets contaminated. Yes.
Maharaj, even for spiritually, we have many motivations in the external world. Like sometimes it happens that we take some motivation from somebody, but it is too high from our standard and we end up getting dejected. So how do we choose what is the right goal for us so that it keeps us on track?
In the Bhagavad Gita, in the purport, chapter 3, Prabhupada explained that if one can't follow everything, but one is not dejected, one is not against the principle, but he tried to do his best, and he has hope that one day he will be able to follow everything nicely. So if one doesn't get pessimistic or discouraged, but he acknowledged these are the principles that I should try my best, you know. So Krishna will help. Krishna will help. Don't try to do something artificial because others can do. You may think you can do. Then do it according to your ability. Nobody is forcing you. If you can't get up 3 in the morning, don't worry. Get up at 5, you know, or 5:30, whatever. Try to get up before sunrise, at least. Best time for spiritual practice is Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta is 1.5 hours before sunrise. Here sunrise is 6:20. So if you get at 5, 10 to 5 is good time. And you should not go more than 11 to sleep. Better before, but no later than 11. Because from 11 to 3, there is cleansing of the body, you know, from toxins. You know. There's just something technical, medicinal. Yes.
Why is impersonal liberation sense gratification?
No. Liberation is not sense gratification. It's a spiritual sense gratification. In the sense that I could not become the greatest in the material life. Now let me become one with the Supreme and become the Supreme. So this is some kind of a spiritual sense gratification. You know? Materialistic people, they want material sense gratification. Impersonal, they want spiritual sense gratification. I want to become liberated. I want to become free from death and merge, become one. That's a spiritual suicide. Devotees hate that idea, becoming one. They want to maintain their individuality to serve the Lord. Because bhakti means the servant, the service, and the Lord who accepts the service. So it's no question of impersonalism. People have this idea of becoming one with the Supreme. Actually, Krishna is both impersonal and personal, both. But person is more important than impersonal. And our idea is to keep our eternal identity to serve the Lord, not to lose it in the Brahman. Because those who are in the Brahma Jyoti, they think I'm not thinking. They feel I'm not feeling. They will, they are not willing. It's nothing positive, it's all just no more birth and death, but there is nothing positive. You know? So there is no Ananda, only Satchit, but no Ananda, Nirananda. Ananda only in loving service is Ananda. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. How to develop genuine appreciation for devotees? I personally feel I find so many faults in others.
Yes.
How can I overcome like this jealousy and fault finding tendency of mine and can genuinely appreciate other devotees?
Very good question. That's a very common thing that at the beginning we appreciate all devotees, but once we start knowing them more, then we get familiarity when we start seeing their shortcomings and all these things. It's normal, that is normal. So to counteract that, we should try also to see the good qualities. I mean, we should think this person is very sincere, is trying to practice Krishna consciousness. He's doing better than me. I'm also full of faults. I'll tell you one story. Once, what you call people use in India for the flower when you but it has many holes.
Sieve.
The sieve?
Yeah.
Sieve. The sieve is telling the needle, you have a hole in you. But the sieve is full of holes. So we like to see the fault of others, but we should also see our own fault. Doesn't mean that, who doesn't have fault? Everyone. But instead of being eager to see the fault in others, we should try to see and correct our own faults. Leave it to Krishna. Whatever fault others have. If you can give some good advice to help, that's fine. Prabhupada told one devotee, if this person is giving you, honest criticism, you should not be upset. If it is honest, you should accept. It's for your own good. But we should not instruct anybody who doesn't want to listen. We should not disturb the mind of anyone unless they ask you for instruction. No? And if somebody points at you your shortcoming in the fact, you should accept humbly, yes, it is true, I have much more even. Thank you for letting me see that I have to correct myself and take humble position. But sometimes we get angry. Why are you telling me this? You also have this and that and that. Then the argument starts, That's very neophyte. Very neophyte. We should take another attitude. Yes.
Thank you. So I have a question related to the Panchakoshas.
Panchakosha. What is Panchakosha? 5.
Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh.
Yeah.
So I understand that in ISKCON we directly go to the last kosha, Anandamaya kosh. But if there are problems related to the Pranamaya kosh or Manamaya kosh, is it okay to go back and work on that, or just believe in Krishna that Anamaya kosh will help us to separate the other koshas?
Well, I mean to say, we go all through different stages in our spiritual progress. So we should not do anything artificial, you know. Like Prabhupada was laughing at devotees because they read that yogis only go one time into the bathroom. So some devotees were pressing themselves. He would say, if you go more, you are a bogey. So they were repressing themselves, you know. So this Prabhupada laughed. You shouldn't do anything artificial, you know. So you have to go through different stages. I mean, you should not neglect your needs, material needs, but you should focus more on your spiritual needs. At least try to take them together. And the more you make spiritual progress, then the material side diminish naturally. Don't do anything artificial. One devotee once asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I have this idea. Is it Paramatma or my mind? Prabhupada said, it is your mind. See, when you know something, you know something. You have doubts, means you still don't know. If you're convinced then that everything is included in Krishna consciousness, you don't need anything else, then that conviction will make you fixed up. That's called Nishtha. But before coming to the Nishtha, you may go up and down a little bit. It's part of the process. It's called Anishtita Bhakti. You know? Unfixed devotional service. Sometime up, sometime down. Sometimes the mind gives you trouble. Everybody goes through this stages, you know. But once you're determined, then you'll go gradually. You will come to the stage of Nishtha, fixed. Then your faith is strong. You don't get bewildered by different ideas come to the mind. Start doubting, should be this, should be that. I am in Manomaya or I am in Manandamaya, I don't know. When you know, you know. But to have doubt is good, means you're intelligent. We should not accept things blindly. If you don't understand, ask questions. You know, find answers. Then you make progress. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
I have a question. Why is Janmashtami like Krishna appeared in many forms, in many different avatars?
Yes.
How come Janmashtami is the day when he appeared in, the jail cell, and not like when Rama was born or one of his other avatars was born?
When they were born in the royal palace, Lord Ramchandra appeared in the royal palace. Krishna appeared in a jail. Kamsa prison house.
Why is that specific birth on the day of Janmashtami? Why not Rama, some other day?
We celebrate all days. We celebrate Ram Navami, we celebrate Janmashtami also. But for us, Janmashtami is the most important. Why? Because we are Krishna Bhakta. Is it? And because Krishna is avatar, he is the origin of all avatars. All avatars come from Krishna, including Vishnu, Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, Parashuram, all of them. So Krishna is the original. So that's why we emphasize Krishna more than other avatars. We don't neglect other avatars. We celebrate their day also, We fast on Ram Navami and Nrsimha Chaturdasi also. But our Janmashtami is the main festivity. Gaur Purnima also, of course. Krishna came only 500 years ago. So. It's even more important.
Also, one more question.
Yeah.
If the demons cause so much trouble on earth, why did Krishna destroy all the demons?
Oh, some of the demons that Krishna didn't kill, they were given opportunity to be born in a Brahman family in Kali Yuga. So they can get the opportunity to become devotees, If they get the training, of course, they can become devotees. So a special mercy of Krishna, that some demons saw him but he didn't kill them. So next Yuga, Kali Yuga, they get birth in a Brahmin family.
No, but what I'm asking is that
Yeah.
why didn't he eradicate them all if they all cause trouble?
Because some of them will cause more trouble than others. There's one, those who are given the most trouble, he took care of them immediately. Those who are given less trouble, okay. One demon in the Nectar of Devotion, he say, I'm not afraid of Krishna. If he comes to kill me, only thing I have to do is surrender to him. Then he will spare me. Intelligent demon. Very intelligent. So, demons can also become devotees, It is possible.
By praying for others who is not devotee or family members who are not devotee, can they become a devotee or?
Just prayer by itself is not enough. We should do something more than prayer. We should try to give them the knowledge, Try to give them the books to read, the prasad, the mahamantra. Of course, with precaution that they will not make offense, If they are too adverse, then don't insist too much. If they're becoming disturbed, don't insist too much. But at least you try, Devotee take the risk to help others, Just praying for them, that's nice, but if we can do more than that, will be good. Actually, if we become better devotees ourselves, that will help them too, because devotee can liberate his family members. Kanishtadikari, 4 generations. Madhyamadikari, 14 generations. Uttamadikari, 100 generations.
What about the 21 generation that Muslim Bhagwan promises to Prahlad Maharaj?
Oh, that's a personal between him and Prahlad. That's why Krishna didn't kill Dhenukasura, because he promised Bali Maharaj not to kill his descendant. And Dhenukasura in the past life was the son of Bali Maharaj. He let Balaram kill him. But he got liberation. He went to Goloka.
Some practical tips on chanting, Maharaj.
Okay, practical tips on chanting. Let me read you something also from Bhaktivinoda Thakura about chanting. Very nice. Okay, listen. Your mind is wandering around the universe when you chant. Chant anyway. Your mind is wandering in the past and the future when you chant. Chant anyway. You cannot concentrate on the names of Krishna while you chant. Chant anyway. You do not like to chant. Chant anyway. You have lusty desire. Chant anyway. You are committing offense when chanting. Chant anyway. You are not praying to Krishna to help you chant better. Chant anyway. You often chant late at night. Chant anyway. then why? Why should I chant despite all the previous obstacles? This is the reason. There is no equal vote to chanting the holy name, nor superior knowledge, nor meditation can be compared to the chanting, and that grant the highest result. No penance equals to chanting. Nothing is as potent or powerful as the holy name. Chanting is the greatest act of piety and the supreme shelter. Even the words of the Vedas do not possess enough power to describe its magnitude. Chanting is the highest path of liberation, peace, and eternal life. It's the pinnacle of devotion, the joyful inclination and attraction of the heart, and the best way to remember the Supreme Lord. The holy name has appeared as Master and Lord only for the benefit of the living entities, as their supreme object of worship and their spiritual guide and mentor. One who continually chants the holy name of Lord Krishna, even in his dream, can easily realize that the name is a direct manifestation of Krishna himself, despite the influence of Kali Yuga. Bhaktivinoda Thakur quoting from the Adi Purana. So chant anyway, no matter what.
Okay, one final question. How did the story of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu take place in the Sati Yuga? Because I thought the Sati Yuga had no demons and it was like heavenly almost.
Yes, the Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu were the first demons, practically speaking, in creation. And this was not in this earth planet. So in heavenly planet there is no such thing as Satya Yuga, Kali Yuga. Heavenly planet there is no such. So they appeared in heavenly planets because their father is Kashyapa Muni. So the Lord had to fight them to stop their dangerous activities. Of course, they were the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jai Vijay. You know the story? Jai Vijay?
Jai Vijay?
Yeah, doorkeepers of Vaikuntha.
Oh, I remember one of them reincarnated as a...
Both of them, that's what.
Yeah, for 3 times. First time was Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, then Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and third time was... what is his name? Shishupala and Dantavakra. 3 times. They were born as demons. And they went back to be doorkeepers in Vaikuntha. But do you know, before becoming doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, they were demons. They were born from the wax of Lord Vishnu's ear. And their name was, what is the name? Madhu and Kaitava was their name. So they worship Goddess Lakshmi and they got the blessing from her that nobody can kill them unless they allow him. They allow him to kill them. So nobody could kill them. They went to challenge even Lord Brahma. Brahma had to run away from them. Even Lord Vishnu was fighting them. He could not kill them because of the blessing of Lakshmi. Finally, Vishnu had a meeting with Brahma and Lakshmi, and they came to some arrangement. And Lakshmi ji convinced the demons by her power to agree to be killed by Vishnu. That was the only way. And when they died, they were thinking of Lord Vishnu's 4-armed form, so they entered Vaikuntha, they became Jai Vijay. That's the way how they became Jai Vijay. So since they have some experience being demons, they will They can do a good job. Now the question is, because they offended the Kumaras, you will not allow them in Vaikuntha. You are small children. When you grow up, do some tapasya, some bhakti you can. And Kumara, although they're small children, they were great sages. They remained children because they wanted to get married. So that's why they remained children. So they became angry and they cursed them. That you're not qualified to be in Vaikuntha. You should go to the material world. So they're shaking, frightened. Lord Vishnu assured protection, offered them. You can take birth in the material world 7 times as devotee or 3 times as demon. You choose. I wouldn't have chosen to be devotee, It's only 4 more lives, It's better to be devotee than demon, isn't it? But they were very intelligent, more than us. They thought, why the Lord is offering to return faster as demons than devotees? They understood. So they went to the Lord and prayed, my dear Lord, please give us a very evil mentality to give you a very good fight. They knew the Lord wanted to fight demons. So they accepted. If the Lord wants me to become demon, fight me, kill me, let him enjoy. That's full surrender. That's full surrender. There is a story, once the king of Iran, Shah, many years ago, called the Shah, he was invited to England for diplomatic relationship. So they were touring him in palaces and museums, to please him. In one museum, one artifact attracted his attention. And he asked, what is the name of this thing? He said, this is guillotine, to chop off the head of the criminals. It's like a razor that people put their head there and chop the head. And he said, wow, that's very interesting. I would like to see how it works. They said, no, it's not possible, such demonstration. No, one of my men, Ahmed, come. Put your hand. And the man was willing to put his head, And they said, no, the laws, in British law doesn't allow such demonstration. We are very sorry. So he said, you laugh, then you don't understand what king means. King means the servant can be given to give life. What is the supreme Lord is the supreme autocrat. The servant is ready to give his life to please the Lord. Understand? So that's why Jai Vijay, okay. The Lord enjoy killing us as demon, let him enjoy. We are happy to do that. So that's Atmaniveda. All right, let's stop here. It's a little late. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Gaur Premanandi.
His Holiness Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for coming here.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting. Hare Krishna.